guys, Freddie B here. It is 11 a.m. on Wednesday, October 9th. The reason I say that is we got Austin coming up this weekend, which is awesome. Give you my preview, my predictions, my pathetic picks for Austin. But I'm in Sarasota, Florida, which is dead center, where right now, according to the 11 o'clock update, Hurricane Milton's going to hit. So this could be my last one. Who knows? If it is, it's been a pleasure. Enjoyed it. I hope to be around to watch Austin. But we're in for a big ride. Sarasota hasn't been hit in many years, and we're kind of due. So here you go. I'll show you what I have. Hang on. I am now ready. So Austin's coming up, 12th year for the Austin USA Grand Prix in Austin, Texas. 56 laps, 3.42 miles, 5.5 kilometers, 2 DRS zones. Great racing track. Should be a fun track, fairly quick. Speeds, it should be, but there's some nice tricky, twisty bits, as I always like to say, at the racetrack. Absolutely a huge deal this week. Let me get I'm pulling up my Formula One thing. Here we go. All right. For everybody, except Daniel Ricciardo, who's not going to be there this year. Liam Lawson is taking over. I don't think Cash App and Visa are super happy about that. Turn 1 is a great start. It's a big, hard, 160 plus degree left-hander, which will get everybody bunched up. It's a good quick uphill turn into turn 1. And then sector 1 kind of spreads you out through the S's. And then you get into sector 2 through 7, 8, and 9 down to a DRS zone between 10 and 11 to a very tight left-hander with a long back straight to 12. Then in 12, your downforce comes in because you got to take a quick left-hander, and then you got a series of rights and lefts and everything to get you back through section 3. The detection zone for DRS for the front straight is about 3/4 of the way through sector 3, and it's just before turn 19. So if you're going to dive on the guy into 19, don't do it till after you pass the DRS zone, and then you might have DRS to get you by on the front stretch. So really fun technical track, should be good. Last year, I believe it was probably Max who won that race last year, if I remember correctly. Let's see, yeah, Max, Lewis, and Lando. So the top 3 were Max Verstappen. He only won by 2 seconds. And then Lando Norris over Lewis Hamilton, and then Lando Norris came in third, 10 seconds back. Considering Singapore and how Singapore went, with Lando winning by 20 seconds over Max, the dominance has definitely shifted, it looks like, to McLaren, and I don't see that changing a whole lot. So my top 4 teams have probably changed, McLaren being number 1. I'm going to say, I don't know if Red Bull's given up the number 2 spot to Mercedes, but Mercedes is definitely there. Ferrari 3rd for sure, but I don't know if Red Bull's 4th or not, because Max is holding his own in a bad car, which has become more and more evident that this is not a great car that Red Bull is having. I think the shine is off the bloom's off the rose for Red Bull. I think a lot of people, myself included, we're fans of Red Bull. I like Max. I think he's a great driver. And off the track, he seems to be a great personality, and I like Checo. But the dynamics on that team are terrible. The Christian Horner and Helmut Marko dynamic are going to just destroy that team. So one of them probably has to go. As the rest of all the other rats are leaving the ship, if you will, you're going to end up with Horner and Marko looking at each other going, what do we do now? And they're going to lose Max, and Max is going to go to anyone. He'll be able to write his own ticket, obviously. And I don't think there's a team that wouldn't toss a driver to get Max. So it's just like cutthroat world of Formula One. But we'll see, or Max could lead. which probably is more likely that he'd leave. But he's probably going to win the World Championship again this year because he's racing. He's still one of the best drivers out there, bar none. Probably top 5 of all time. And I know that's hard to say, and I know everybody has a different top 5, but you have to look at the particular era also. Lewis Hamilton, obviously right up there at number 1 or 2 in the top drivers. Michael Schumacher, obviously in the top drivers. And Senna. You know, these guys were great, and they were great in their era. What's funny is how Hamilton had a hard time, I don't know if it's a Mercedes-Benz or if it was Lewis, having a hard time adapting back to these ground effect cars, which is interesting. I got a feeling, though, it was more likely Mercedes-Benz and not Lewis Hamilton. And I think we'll see evidence of that next year when he goes to Ferrari. But anyway, we have the Austin Grand Prix coming up. I'm excited for it. It's nice after 3 weeks to have Formula One back on. I had to watch Talladega, which was an interesting race last weekend. It was great until there were 4 laps left, and then the big wreck happened. And so you really don't know who the best driver is. The great thing about F1 is the strategies play out, and the top drivers and teams generally rise to the top. Where in NASCAR, you can get taken out by just the dumbest thing. And it was a stupid accident, and it really was just one of those, quote, racing deals. But it kind of ruined the race for the guys who really had earned a right to be right up there at the top and fighting it out. If these guys in NASCAR claim to be the best drivers in the world, then learn to race side by side. It seems like F1 drivers can do it with open wheels and can go into a corner 2 abreast and not hit each other. Gee, I don't know. I think maybe NASCAR's got the wrong thing. They need a lot of work. And that used to be my favorite series. But I'm excited about Austin. So who's going to win this week? Well, you know what? I picked the last 4 in a row. I don't think I can go 5 for 5. I really can't. But it's going to be close. I mean, McLaren's definitely going to be up there, and either Oscar Piastri or Lando Norris is probably going to get the pole position for this race. The wind's starting to pick up, by the way. We're probably only about 20-25 miles an hour right now. We're looking for a 10 to 15-foot storm surge here in Sarasota. That's what I'm worried about. My house is on a rill of a creek. That creek already is up 4 feet. And my house is probably at 14 feet. So, you know, I'm hoping that this thing turns south a bit and we get down so I can save my home. I think McLaren's probably going to get the pole position. I think you're going to see a great run this weekend from Ferrari. Okay, so I wouldn't be surprised if Leclerc Carlos Sainz gets in the top 3. And again, with Red Bull's problems and Mercedes, seems to be picking up the slack, we may have a McLaren, Ferrari, Mercedes top 3. Who knows? But I will say, of those 6 drivers that are on those 3 teams, all 6 of them have the opportunity to be in the top 6. So we'll have to see how that all plays out. And then, of course, you've got Red Bull. That could be 7th and 8th. Who knows? I woke up this morning and saw where Dragovic was going to drive for Osman in Mexico. And it's just an FP1 session, but the way they had it headlined, it looked like he was replacing somebody in Mexico. I thought maybe Lance Stroll was going to take a week off, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Anyway, those are my Formula One picks. We'll have more content as soon as I survive the storm. I'm going to pack everything up and get out of here, and pack up the cats too. So have a good one. Subscribe if you can. I'll see you on the other side. Ta-ta for now.